The Bible predicts a time of great trouble in the last days. As calamities increase, a false message will spread, that the world's troubles are due to immorality and disregarding Sunday, and that we must enforce Sunday observance to appease God and restore order. But what if it's not just one crisis? What if multiple, overlapping disasters strike all at once? War breaking out in key regions, aggressive tax policies that burden the people, economic collapse, perhaps a wave of unchecked immigration that introduces new ideologies, reshaping the cultural landscape and provoking tension, a vocal minority imposing its values, leading to national division, and pandemics that once again paralyze global economies. If all these hit together, the world will be shaken to its core. In such a moment, the cry for stability will be deafening. The desire for peace, for safety, for some kind of moral or spiritual reset will drive people to seek radical answers. We already saw during the pandemic how quickly entire nations embraced sweeping, almost unimaginable restrictions overnight for the sake of survival. And now, in the face of growing environmental concerns, there are increasing calls for regular rest days to combat climate change, like car-free Sundays to cut emissions. Even Pope Francis has advocated for Sunday rest as a remedy to social and environmental decay. So both secular and religious voices are calling for a weekly day of rest to solve the world's crises. Imagine then, amid total chaos, a unifying solution is offered. Enforce a national day of rest and worship. It will be sold as the path to healing, to God's blessing, to global peace. It will seem not only logical but necessary. Millions will support it. But this solution will be a deception, the very snare that prophecy has warned us about. This is why we are witnessing a radical political shift from the left to the right. People are exhausted, disillusioned, and desperate for change. And Satan plays with emotions, pushing people from one extreme to another, knowing that extremes breed instability. Yet, true wisdom is not found in the chaos of extremes, but in a balanced, discerning, moderate way of thinking. The mark of the beast versus the seal of God. Revelation 13:16-17 warns of a time when a beast power causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. This mark of the beast has been a mystery to many, sparking countless theories. But now it becomes painfully clear. The beast is the Bible's symbol for an ungodly power, in this case the system of false worship led by the papacy, and its mark is a sign of allegiance to that power. By contrast, Revelation 7:2-3 describes God's faithful receiving a seal on their foreheads, the seal of the living God. In this final crisis, two marks are in contention, the mark of the beast and the seal of God. What are they? They are opposites in the great test over worship and obedience. The seal of God in Scripture is connected with God's law and His Sabbath. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. Isaiah 8:16. Speaking of the Sabbath, God said, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep. It is a sign between me and you throughout your generations. Exodus 31:13. The seventh-day Sabbath, the day God set apart at creation and in the Ten Commandments, is a special sign or seal of His authority as Creator and Redeemer. It's like God's mark of ownership on His people, showing they honor His sovereignty. In contrast, what is the mark of the beast? It must be a sign of allegiance to the beast power's authority. Over the centuries, the Roman Church has openly claimed that the change of the Sabbath to Sunday is the mark of its ecclesiastical power, observing Sunday when it is enforced by law, in deliberate place of God's true Sabbath, thus becomes the mark of the beast. It's not necessarily a physical barcode or microchip, as some of the more fanciful interpretations suggest. Rather, the mark is about worship and obedience. It reflects a spiritual decision. The forehead represents the mind, symbolizing internal belief and allegiance, while the hand represents action, symbolizing outward compliance. That said, could it involve a physical element? Possibly. But what ultimately determines the implementation of the mark is not the object itself. It's the decision of whom to worship, God or man. Whether internal or external, it comes down to loyalty, choosing God's command over man's decree. Now, in this unfolding drama, the distinction is crystal clear. Those who accept the Sunday law and abandon God's Sabbath, whether by sincere deception or willing compromise, are aligning with the beast. They receive its mark. Those who hold fast to God's seventh-day Sabbath and refuse to obey the unlawful Sunday mandate receive God's seal. Revelation 14:12 describes the faithful in this time. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. They would rather face punishment than break God's holy law. Their loving obedience marks them as God's own. This is a sobering reality. It means that right now you and I are deciding whose mark we will take by the choices we make in worship and obedience. If this concept is new or startling to you, don't worry. It's deep prophecy, and we have an entire video explaining it. If you want to explore this topic deeper, watch our video, The Mark of the Beast. It's not what you've been told. Linked in the description. But the bottom line is simple enough for a child to grasp. God says, "Remember my day to keep it holy." The world says, "No, do this other day." Whom will we obey? That is the test. And passing this test will come at a cost, because the powers of earth are about to pressure everyone like never before. Those who stand for God's commandments now face hostility. Persecution begins in earnest, and a crisis unlike any before sweeps the world.